Our NFL reporter Sal Paolantonio joining us on the Shell Pennzoil Performance Line. Get the feeling of being rewarded with gold status at Shell with the Fuel Rewards program. Download the Fuel Rewards app, join, and start saving 5 cents a gallon today. Sal, the most amazing thing to me about what's happened so far is I just saw in SportsCenter they did a live shot with Jordan Renan from downtown Philadelphia, and the streets were clear. I thought for sure they'd still be going strong at about 8 o'clock this morning.
Well, I think people are walking around the houses in their pajamas like zombies. Is this real? I've talked to, 5 or 6 dozen people since the end of the game back home, and everyone has said the same thing. I've gotten text after text and email after email, and everybody says the same thing. Sal, did that really happen last night? Is that real? I think there was such an eruption of joy from fans all across the region, from Harrisburg to Atlantic City, from Allentown all the way down to Delaware. And I think people are waking up and realizing it happened, and they're trying to process it. It really is truly remarkable when you consider that the Empire State Building in the city of New York was lit up in green last night. What a capper to the night. It just says that this team was totally embraceable from coast to coast, that people loved this team, and that it had a special bond with one another, and that people really wanted it to succeed.
Yeah, Broad Street was full last night, and we hope everybody was safe. I'm sure we'll find out more and more.
People were safe, for sure.
It was fantastic.
And, downtown Minneapolis was crazy last night, and I walked into the hotel at about, 2 hours, 3 hours ago, 4 hours ago. I didn't sleep. Nobody slept. People were just, sitting around quietly. It was eerie. And I'll tell you this story, and I still can't believe it happened. We're sitting, drinking a couple beers, having some pizza in the lobby of the Marquette Hotel downtown. There's about 200, 250 Eagles fans just sitting around quietly talking. It was eerie. It wasn't like a total celebration. People were just sort of processing it. And in walks M. Night Shyamalan, the horror director, the guy who has, put the eerie in eerie, right? And he walks in, and we all are looking at each other. Is that really him? Are we in a movie about ourselves? Are we actually walking around as zombies in his movie? Is this real? And so he says hi to everybody, and then we all get into the elevator with him, and we're looking at each other like, man, we're in some kind of dream. And this guy is writing the script for us. It was truly one of the most surreal moments I have ever felt, and we all felt it together. Eagles fans from everywhere. We were like, what just happened?
Well, it's funny you put that in that perspective, Sal, as he joins us now on the Shell Pennzoil Performance Line, because you and I worked Super Bowl 36 together when the Patriots beat the very heavily favored Rams, and after that game, because the Patriots, there's a whole generation of people that don't know the Patriots for what they were before 2001. They were the laughable losers. And there was this guy, I remember leaving the Superdome, and he was just sitting on a corner in Bourbon Street with a Patriots jersey on and a Patriots hat, and just his head was in his hands. He's like, I can't believe the bleeping Patriots actually won the Super Bowl, because they were a joke before then, and the Eagles had always been that, nice try sort of situation. So how ironic that the Eagles flipped the script, Sal, against the team that had sort of flipped their own script 17 years ago.
Yeah, when all of these droughts end, there's a catharsis that goes through a city. There's a celebration. There's the moment where you process it and realize that it did happen, and then the emotions start to pour out. Because it's not one generation. The last time they won it was in 1960. So we're talking about 4 generations of people who have been spelling fatalism with a PH. And now that all is gone. It changes your behavior. It changes your attitude. It changes everything. There's a reason why last night in Philadelphia on Broad Street, nothing was harmed, no damage was done, the place is cleaned up this morning, is because the outcome of the game changed your behavior. Now you can feel a sense of respect.
Well, let's go to that. Let's just give people some perspective. December 26, 1960, the date of the Eagles' last title. The NFL teams, there were 13 of them. The president was Dwight Eisenhower. The Patriots were in their first season in the AFL, and Bill Belichick was 8 years old. So that's a perspective of these Philly fans who have been there decades rooting for this team. And we had Malcolm Jenkins on a little earlier, Sal, and he said, we can't wait to get back to Philly. What is the schedule? When are they getting back to Philly? And what is the anticipation of just how many people are going to be at that airport?
Yeah, I'm guessing tens of thousands. I'm guessing it's John, Paul, George, and Ringo, size crowd. That's what I'm anticipating. Right now, I'm about to leave the hotel, go to the Mall of America, and cover the MVP trophy press conference with Nick Foles and Doug Peterson and Commissioner Roger Goodell, and then it's back to Philly. And it's such a great story. It's such a great headline. Nick Foles authored a comeback drive in the fourth quarter to beat the greatest quarterback of all time. And so it's a script you can't write. And I think the reason why it happened to this team is they formed a special brotherhood through love and respect for one another, and a belief and a resiliency that they could, in fact, do it. And then a coach who was not afraid ever, not afraid once, showed, as we say in South Philly, the cojones, to call it.
Well, yeah.
On fourth down and goal to go and call that play, which he now calls the Philly special.
Not only that one, Sal, but the fourth down to keep the drive alive on the game-winning drive that led to the Zach Ertz touchdown catch. I mean, if there was ever a case, Sal, to make the case for the coach to be the MVP of the Super Bowl, it might have been this one.
Yeah. Well, you're calling fourth and goal. You're calling a pass to a quarterback, and in Super Bowl history, a quarterback's never caught a touchdown pass. And you're not only going to do that, you're going to say, we can do this even if you can't, because Tom Brady doesn't catch the ball. The irony of that really, I think that play electrified that team. They went into the halftime locker room with a belief. But, the bottom line is it was a 12-round fight. Nobody wanted to go down. Everybody was throwing haymakers. It was really, in my view, one of the greatest Super Bowls of all time.
Was so entertaining, and the only downside as a former defensive player is a little difficult when you're setting records for yardage on the field. but hey, if you're on the winning side of it, you forget about it really quickly as your crown champion. And one other thing that's going to start to happen, Sal, as we move a day and another day and another day away from this is, if the phone rings for Philadelphia, what's the offer they would accept to trade for Nick Foles? That's the next thing coming. One more year on his deal at $7.6 million, and everybody has a price. So what would that price be for Philadelphia?
Michael, I love you. I respect you. I only could dream of being on this radio program on the day after the Eagles won the Super Bowl. But to get that answer, you're going to have to dial 1-800-ADAM Schefter, because you're not getting that answer from me.
Look, I'm telling you, I'm with you, Sal. I'm not sure there's a way he's leaving, because there's
a price. It's just a matter of somebody will pay it or not.
But you just don't know when Carson Wentz is going to be healthy.
I agree, completely.
So why would you do that? Let's move on to something that may be a little more. I don't know. Look, I hear what you're saying.
Listen,
everybody comes with a price.
It's the reality of the sport. We can move on all we want, but it's the reality of the sport that's a possibility. So,
it hasn't even sunk in that they won the game yet.
I know. So true. Isn't
He's such a radio guy.
People are still people are walking around the hotel lobby right now. Did this really happen?
Yeah.
That's what's going through people's minds. So I'm sure that question will come up to Nick Foles at today's press conference. And as as I get it, I will bring it to you. I promise.
In real-time reporting, as Sal Pal likes to say. Hey, Sal, before we let you go, there's one other thing that we have to talk about, and we were giving it a little discussion with Timmy Hasselback the last half hour. The decision to not play Malcolm Butler, a guy who had been on the field for 97.8% of the defensive snaps of the regular season, only got in on the one punt. He did not play a single defensive snap, and they said he was healthy. It was a coach's decision for a guy who sealed Super Bowl 49 just 3 years ago. That's an amazing turn of events for that cornerback.
Well, I think it definitely affected the team because based on the reporting of our colleagues with the Patriots, it sounds like a lot of the players on the team were shocked by it. And, Malcolm Butler not being on the field certainly affects the outcome of the game. There's no question about it. Him being on the sideline. But you have to think, okay, people are on the sideline. The players are wondering what's going on, and that had to affect them. But, to me, it's one of those odd decisions that, we'll never have an answer to because I don't think Bill Belichick is going to open up his notebook on that for us.
Yeah. Can confirm.
Yeah.
That won't happen. Sal, go to the MVP and then go do what everyone else was doing in Philadelphia when you get back. Jump off the Ritz-Carlton awning, will you? Do that.
No. I promise I'm going to be on a float live down Broad Street on NFL Live with Trey Wingo. I promise.
All right.
Nice.
All good, brother. Sal, always good to have you on the show.
Thanks, Sal.
Enjoy the day, pal.
Thank you so much.